Your shooting fundamentals must holistically fit within a complete system of personal defense. That is, your rifle technique shouldn't make it harder for you to defend yourself in any way. Now, of course, that sounds pretty obvious, right? But let's work through an example of a popular technique that actually hampers our ability to defend ourselves in the real world. In shooting, there are really two major schools of application: defense and sport. Much of the rifle world is enamored by the sport aspect. And for many shooters, the glamour of speed is starting to overshadow the realities of defense. The classic example of this is the overhand method of gripping the forend of the rifle. This competition-designed shooting position has been adapted by many of the popular tactical rifle trainers. The position looks like this. With the support hand of the rifle as far down the forend of the barrel as possible, the wrist rotated extremely far forward, and the support arm held high. The idea of this position is that, much like using a fire hose, the closer you get to the end of the muzzle, or in our case the barrel, the more control you have over its movement, especially when transitioning from target to target. Though that's true for competitors, you're actually making yourself less safe with this position from a defensive standpoint. Let me show you. First, look at the elbow. Structurally speaking, you are making yourself incredibly vulnerable to a takeaway. Now let's compare that takeaway attempt to Sealed Mindset's position of holding the rifle. Not the same result, was it? Remember that as defenders, we are most likely holding down a position in our homes. Most rooms are probably not more than 30 feet from corner to corner. If you're defending from a bedroom, you might only have 10 or 15 feet max. That means that there is a distinct possibility that you will come into physical contact with your threat. Having a grip that weakens your ability to keep hold of the rifle is not a good idea. Next, if you do come into contact with a threat, your best option might be to use the rifle as an impact weapon. This is why we keep going back to unarmed and improvised weapons discussions. You must think about your defense in a complete manner, knowing that there is, in every likelihood, a situation where you could end up fighting a lethal threat in your home from an extremely close range.